Well, I just want to pick up that I also followed the press briefing earlier on today, and I know this was extensively discussed and answered, and I will just repeat what has already been said, that as President von der Leyen has said, in fact, this morning in Florence, we are ready to discuss any proposal that address this current crisis in a pragmatic manner. For the moment, we stress that the important thing is for us, as being the region of the world that exports vaccine on such a large scale, that we ensure that vaccines reach all the corners of the globe as soon as possible. As we know, no one is safe until everyone is safe. So we ask other vaccine-producing countries to allow the exporting of vaccines to the world and avoid measures that disrupt supply chains. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would probably also invite you to take a look at this topic, which has been discussed extensively in the press midday briefing, and you will have there further input regarding our views here.
Question, and I'm so glad you asked it, because this is why this therapeutic strategy is such an important part of our COVID-19 response and what we're presenting today. This is exactly what you touched upon, the importance of good work that is already happening, the importance for us to bring it together, the importance of us to join clinical trials across Europe, and really to pool all the resources in order that we can move as quickly as possible from the research side to the production side and you mentioned this, to seeing how we're going to move more quickly for safe authorization and move to reach citizens to have therapeutics as quickly as possible. So this is exactly I would say, the epitome of what we want to do through our therapeutic strategy, understanding that this is a strand of the COVID-19 response, because I think we would all recognize that the importance I think emphasis has been vaccines, and it's understandable because they're the game changer. They will be the exit out of this pandemic. But we also now know, and as I mentioned in my opening remarks, that many people will still get COVID, and many people suffer from long COVID. So it is important that we have access to therapeutics, and that these therapeutics reach production and citizens as quickly as possible. Now, in terms of the names, if you'll excuse me, because if I may, there are already 3 treatments under rolling review by the European Medicines Agency since the beginning of the year. And among these, I can mention 3. Are the monoclonal antibodies, the Regeneron antibody combination, the Celltrion monoclonal antibody, and the monoclonal antibodies from Eli Lilly. I will also say that there are 57 COVID-19 treatments in development that have already received scientific advice from the European Medicines Agency, including small molecules and monoclonal antibodies and antivirals. So what we do is want to really pull. We've seen what science can do. We have seen how quickly you can reach safe and effective vaccines. Let's pull it together now at the European level for safe and effective therapeutics. Yes, I'm not. I've watched the press briefing. I've seen, of course, the understandable great interest you have in this. But, you know, I'll speak from a public health perspective. And from a public health perspective, from the beginning, we have left no stone unturned in tackling this pandemic. From the beginning, the EU has advocated a multilateral approach to ensure that we reach provision of vaccines everywhere, and that's why we have key initiators of the ACT Accelerator and through COVAX. So I'm going to say, not going to repeat what has already been said. I think it's important that we are pragmatic, that we're open to discussion. But if I may, so that we don't, I don't want to lose focus of why I'm standing here today. And today I'm here to share with you another very important aspect of COVID-19 response, which is the therapeutic strategy, which may not appear to be as much of a game changer as vaccines have been. But if you speak to people with long COVID, you'll understand that we are giving citizens another sense of perspective and hope when they're dealing with this disease. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
On your first question on the joint procurements, there is great interest already from member states who we have been discussing on the issue of joint procurements for therapeutics. And it's something that we will be following up and discussing with each member state if they are interested. On the lessons learned from the vaccine strategy and moving into the therapeutic strategy, this complementary, I would say, two strategies for COVID, and they really come together. I go back and I always say that what we have learned is that the EU vaccine strategy is a very powerful example of a European collaboration and solidarity in action. And that is, I feel, the greatest message that we can take forward with the therapeutic strategy. And we have secured almost 2.6 billion doses for European citizens. So we have managed to reach safe and effective vaccines in very quick record time. We had production and manufacturing challenges at the beginning, but now, and I gave you the numbers, more and more people are vaccinated every day and more vaccines are delivered every day. So what we are now doing in the therapeutic strategy, and I said this in my opening remarks, is having seen how the vaccine strategy developed, is addressing every part of the life cycle of a medicine. So we're looking at the research, we're looking at how we move that to clinical trials, that to production, ensuring that we have the manufacturing capacity, how we have the authorization be as fast as possible so that therapeutics can reach citizens. So it builds on our experience from the vaccine strategy by addressing the whole life cycle of the medicine, of a medicine. And the objective is one, as with vaccines, to reach citizens as soon as possible after they're authorized.
Thank you, Commissioner.
We're always looking, thank you for the question, we're always looking, of course, for effective treatments. And I will say that so far we have also had joint procurements for a number of medicines which patients need when they're in ICU. That has been an ongoing situation that we have had. In terms of what we have now, with this therapeutics strategy and innovation, it will be able to have, for us, through our scanning process, to have a more complete overview in order that we can identify those promising candidates that you mentioned, and where investment is needed so that they can reach patients faster. It's very important to also say that, yes, at the moment we only have one treatment. Well, only remdesivir has received conditional market authorization, but our aim through the therapeutic strategies, I said, is to move as quickly as possible in order to bring more to the availability of patients as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that we have, with monoclonal antibodies, we launched, there are special contracts now being signed. I think the last one was the beginning of April, with all interested EU member countries, I think also including the UK. So they are now being signed between Roche and I think it was 37 member countries, including the UK, on this. This is where we are now with that.
Thank you, Commissioner. I do not see any more questions, so thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Thank you, Stefan.
And all stay healthy, please. Thank you.